602 class, but you just want to get your feet wet, and this 602 Charger is the perfect class to do that in. Rolling out on the track, who better than the number one who drove away with it last night, the 16-year-old out of Montrose, Georgia. That's Grimsley Fulford. In the 12C out of Moultrie, Georgia. In that black and green 12C, the 14-year-old. That's Chase Giddens. In the 24 out of Hardyville, South Carolina, it's Thomas Cooler. In the 07 out of Griffin, Georgia, it's Henry Badger. In the H28 out of Rome, Georgia, it's Chuck Hargrove. And in the 27E out of Dublin, Georgia, it's Eric Baggett. Eric Baggett, top three finishes here at Cochran Motor Speedway this year. Trying to put it into victory lane tonight. Our 602 Charger next group will be coming out. That means our Pro Crown Vics are up next. Pro Crown Vics, start making your way to staging. Rolling out on the track. In the 01 out of Madison, Georgia, it's Josh Lanford. In the 94D out of Statesboro, Georgia, it's Mr. Ashley Murphy. Ashley Murphy, a heat race winner last night. First race in the 602 Chargers. So 1 for 1's not bad. Trying to go 2 for 2 in the feature tonight. That Ashley Murphy out of Statesboro, Georgia. In the 31 on the backstretch out of Sonoa, Georgia. That's Dean Delamar, longtime racer, trying to get into the 602. In the 118 out of Forsyth, Georgia, that's Timothy Reynolds. Timothy Reynolds won top 5 out here at Cochran earlier in the year. And also a top 5 in East Alabama as well this year for Timothy Reynolds in the 118. In the white and red 16 on the track out of Cochran, that's Greg Trice. Greg Trice had some troubles yesterday. Looks to be a lot smoother rolling around the track tonight. I believe that's a new car. Might have been getting it ready all year. First time here at Cochran Motor Speedway for Greg Trice. That's going to conclude the 602 Chargers. They'll be back for a 20-lap feature event tonight for $500. Next one out on the track is our L&L Body Shop Pro Crown Vics, also sponsored by Lane Concrete Services, for a special $1,500 to win this feature race tonight. They'll be battling 15 laps the distance later on. Rolling on the track in the 19B out of Cochran, Georgia. That's Carson Berryhill. In the 7C, coming in turn number 2 out of Rennes, Georgia, it's Kobe Fountain. Just behind him in the 3, Junior out of Dublin, was running up in second last night, had to pull off the track. Glad to see him back tonight. That's Cam Zakelli. In the 49 out of Hawkinsville, Georgia, that's Wesley Robertson. Wesley Robertson in the Best Way Tow and Recovery, Taylor Well and Drilling, Harvey's Construction 49 machine. In the 5 out of Warren Robins, Georgia, it's Jason Lang. In the 5, Junior, having some issues last night, wasn't able to come out for his heat. It's going to start in the tail. That's the 5 Junior of Jason Lang, also out of Warner Robins, that red machine on the backstretch. In the 73, starting outside of row 3 out of Dublin, Georgia, it's Robbie Bland with the Go Georgia G on the front hood. Robbie Bland. In the A1F out of Helena, Georgia, it's Mike Young in that silver A1F. Maybe more dark gray. Well, that's going to conclude our hot lap session. We're going to get another couple laps in here. Let them space out. A few drivers came to us slow. We're going to give them a green-white checker here. All right, checker flags out. That's going to conclude our Pro Crown Vics. They'll be back for 15 laps later on tonight. Now it's time for some Crate USA late models. So I'm going to turn it on over to Mr. Cody. Well, thank you so much, Cody. We're back here with our local classes here at Cochran Motor Speedway. Rolling out on the track for their hot lap session is the Fleming's Auto Junior Crown Vics, also sponsored this weekend by Collins Cabinets. Get your custom cabinets. Contact Chad Collins at Collins Cabinets for all your cabinet needs. In the one out of Enterprise, Alabama, won his heat race last night. That's Darrell Cawley. In the 5X out of Montezuma, Georgia, that's Shane Callentine. We'll be starting in the 4 spot. Starting in the middle of the pack out of Dublin, Georgia, it's Hunter Bland in the 56. In the 22, starting inside row 3, that's Harry Sanders out of Cochran. In the 6J, starting inside row 2, out of Fort Valley, Georgia, it's Jackson Wells. I believe in the red, that's a 51S of Marvin Fulford out of Montrose, Georgia. The swerve. Caution came out to give a little bit of space. We're back spaced out, ready to go. Out on the track also is the 10 of Kenzie Maddox out of Montrose, Georgia. Kenzie Maddox with 3 top 5 finishes here. Also won a heat race back on August 19th. Trying to see if Kenzie can take home the feature win here at the end of the 2023 season. Last but not least, rolling out on the track next will be our 602 Vidalia Motorsports late models. Nope, apologize. We have another group here of our Fleming's Auto Junior Crown Vics. Coming around there into turn number 1 and 2 in the 49 Pink Machine out of Hawkinsville. That's Susie Toller. Driving the Carver's Country Store, 441 Speed Shop, Best Way Towing, Fast Track Chassis, McDaniel Cabinet, Hillbilly Pilot Cars, Robertson Garage, Club 49 Racing 49 Machine. Just beyond her is the 911 of Ellie Campbell out of Jeffersonville, Georgia. In the 8, in the 8C out of Townsend, Georgia, it's Jake Bullard. In that silver and blue 8C. In the 45 machine coming into turn number 1 out of Helena, Georgia, that's Chris Harrelson. Will be starting in the rear. Got a little bit of work to do. In the 62 out of Leesburg, Georgia, that's Blake McCraney. And your heat race winner last night in the X, starting on the outside, row 1, out of Ryan, Georgia, that's Ship Dowdy. Ship Dowdy's got a fast machine, but had some problems all year long keeping it on the track, able to try to lift and save it. So we'll see. Looked great last night. See if the X machine's able to get it done here on the last night for these Junior Crown Vics for 2023. Next up will be our Hyundai Motorsports 602s. Let some of that cross traffic on the backstretch get off the track. We got a red flag. Red flag out. Get some more information from race control. We'll pass it on. All right, fans, we're going to take a little bit of intermission here. Unfortunately, our EMS had to go to a local emergency, and we do have to pause all on-race activities when they get pulled from the site. Typically does not happen unless it's a multiple call type of emergency where they need all hands on deck. They're hoping to get us a unit back here as soon as possible. I do apologize for the inconvenience, but it's kind of out of our hands, and we definitely want to make sure that the medical attention is needed if it's that severe of a